Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at two tanks, the two tanks that are in the event and two tanks that you can win. One of them will be easy, one of them will be not so easy, but it's still doable. It is still doable. It'll be difficult, but it's still doable depending on how often you play. So the tank that is going to be quite easy to get is the Type 64. It's a Chinese light tank. It's a tier 6. It's okay. It's okay. I should enjoy this tank because I like tanks with quick reloads. I like quick tanks, normally with no armor, but for this I just can't seem to love it, and I just really don't know why, because it suits my playstyle, and it's a perfect tank to suit my playstyle, but for some reason I just don't really get on well with it. But that's me, that's just me. It's not saying the tank is a bad tank. The armor, let's look at the stats. The armor is literally nothing. You got 25mm of armor on your turret and your hull, and that's the most you're gonna get. So be prepared to be hit with HE from pretty much anything that's going to come your way. The DPM 1754, and that is a 5.4 second reload, and it does 125 with penetration on your AP, 177 on your APCR, and 20 on your HE. So the HE is not that good. The penetration's not great, but it does the job. I mean, you can get around tanks pretty easy, and you can shoot them from the sides or the rear. It does 160 alpha on your AP, 135 on your APCR, and 200 on your HE. Aim time is I think it's pretty high for your aim time, actually, for a light tier 6 tank at 4 seconds. Dispersion's okay, though, at 0.301. Has 8 degrees of gun depression, and the speed is 72 kilometers per hour, which makes this tank one of the quickest in the game. Not the quickest, but one of the quickest in the game. So that is the Type 64. As I've said, it's a tier 6 light Chinese tank, and the other tank is the T-34-3, which is a tier 8 medium tank. This is okay. I mean, I don't mind this tank. I've been playing it to get footage, and to be honest, I haven't been playing too well in it, but it's all right. It's not too bad. The turret on this thing is where the armor is at. It's got 190mm on your front of the turret, 120 on your sides, and 150 on your rear. So it's definitely a hold down tank. It's definitely a hold down tank, maybe side scraping, but just don't give your hull, because you've only got 90mm of armor on your hull, 50 on the sides, and 45 on the rear. The damage per minute at 1900 is not too bad. It used to be really poor. Don't forget, it does have that the big 122mm gun on it, so it does do 400 alpha. Penetration, I don't think the penetration's that great on your AP, but your heat is 270, so your heat is perfect, is acceptable, and it's not bad, to be honest. 61 on your HE as well, which isn't so bad. It does, as I've said, 400 alpha on your AP, 340 on your heat, and 500 on your HE. Only has 5 degrees of gun depression, though, so that is a killer in this tank. It would be a very nice tank if it had sort of 7-8 degrees. It would be a really nice tank, but because it only has 5 degrees, it's just it's an okay tank. It's not bad. The speed is, I don't even know the speed. Let's have a look. The speed, 50 kilometers an hour as well, so it does feel quite sluggish, the tank, to be honest, but it's, out of the two, I would definitely prefer the T-34-3, but it is a lot harder to get than the Type 64. So we're going to have a look at just a battle on each tank, just to see how they perform in battle. So up first in the Type 64 is just a quick battle. We don't do nothing special. It won't be difficult to ace. This battle was a first class, and we pretty much did nothing. I would have played it more to try and get the ace, but I'm just so struck with time at the moment. That's why I've been using a lot of replays for videos, because I just don't have the time to record everything that I want to do a video of. So usually I just look in my mailbox, Discord, to see if there is any replays of tanks that I'm actually working on, and usually if there is a replay, they're going to perform better than I would have anyway, because people only really send me ace replays. So that's why I do use a lot of replay videos. I do try and add as much of my own battles as I can, but sometimes the videos that I want to do is such short notice, like these kind of events, that I just haven't got time to go and play. And I haven't actually got any replays of this tank, so I went and played it myself, and it's not bad. As I've said at the beginning, it really isn't bad. But for me, I think the gun depression of, what did I say, 8 degrees? It could have had a little bit more than 8, maybe 10 degrees, but the gun depression is not it. The armor, obviously, it's got no armor. We know that. I don't mind the tank not having no armor. But I mean, the stat wise, everything, I expect not a lot of pen on this thing anyway, because it's a tier 6 light tank. It just doesn't feel great for me, and I just don't know why. Maybe you guys will like the tank, especially if it's free. If you get this tank and it's free, then it's a good tank for free. I mean, you don't have to pay anything for it. So, and when I say it's easy to get this tank, and everyone, if I'm honest, everyone should really be getting this tank. You really don't have to play a lot. We're going to have a look at the end, how much you need, or how much I need to get this tank in the event of what the stages I'm on now. So this game, I mean, 1500 damage. We're going to get one more shot in this Chaffee, and we're going to get one more shot in this VK30-01D. So I'll finish on 5 kills, and that is what these kind of tanks are made for, with these light, the quick speed, the quick reload, and it's proper. It really is a kill stealer of a tank. You can kill steal like a pro. So T-34-3. Now this tank is a bit slower. It's not as quick as the light tank, and as I've said, it does feel a bit sluggish. You don't bounce much unless you're hold down. You're not going to bounce much at all in this tank. The penetration as well, it doesn't feel great, but it does have that 400 alpha gun, so it's pretty much a heavy medium. It's a heavium. Play it like a heavium, but go with your mediums. And if you go with your mediums, as long as you're not the one getting shot, then you can really deal out that damage by 400 every single shot. And sometimes you'll get more, sometimes you'll get in the 300s. So definitely go with your mediums, because you are a medium tank. But don't go front line. I wouldn't say go front line, because you've got a big gun. I mean, you want to put that gun to use. So let your other medium tanks with the quick reload go and fight it out with the enemy, while you're just sort of sat behind them, getting free damage, because your reload's quite long as well. Well, not really long, 12.6 seconds. I think this used to be about 15 or 16 seconds reload. It used to be really, really poor. But Wargaming have buffed it a few times, and now it's not so bad. I mean, 12 seconds for a 400 alpha shot is pretty much like on par with the heavy tanks in tier 8. But you've got the speed of a medium tank. So if you play it right, you can really deal some damage in this tank. And it's the same as the tech tree version, the T-34-2. That's a pretty good tank as well. It's pretty much the same, exactly the same as this tank, except for you're going to make more credits with this tank. So always, excuse me, always try and sit back. Don't just rush in, because you're not quick enough to rush in. You're not quick enough to really circle a lot of the heavies, which we're going to see here. We're going to struggle to circle a Vindicator towards the end. So it's not the quickest tanks here, quickest medium tank. So don't go try circling the quickish heavy tanks, because it's just not going to happen. But if you do find yourself in a situation where you are close to the heavy tank or whatever tank you're coming against, and you know that you can't circle it, just get really close to him. Just get really close, side hug him, face hug him, and you will actually get some bounces. Definitely you will get some bounces, because the armor is very, very troll on the turret, very strong turret, and you're a low profile tank. So if you get up with the big heavies, say Tiger 2s, then they can really only see your turret, and that is the strongest part of your tank. So this battle, I mean, we're going to get penned there. The AMX has a great rate of fire on the tier 7 tank. It's actually a really good tank. I've done a replay not so long ago, and I really need to go back and play that tank, because everything I watch of this tank and the reload, it's got a really good gun. I definitely need to review that tank again. I think the last time I reviewed that tank was the day it come out, and that was a couple of years ago now. So when I get time, I definitely do need to review this AMX M445, because it does seem like a pretty decent tank. So we get rid of him for our first kill, and sadly I decide to try and get behind the Scorpion. I do get a nice troll bounce there from the Vindicator, but because I come this side, and the Scorpion's probably it's actually a quicker tank than this. By the time I get there, he's a one-shot anyways, but we do load the HE, and we do a nice 479 damage to put our damage up to 3,200. I'm thinking, you know what, I can finish on over 4k, no problem. But the Vindicator for me, it's a tank I hate very much, and it's a tank I hate coming up against, because the armor's just, I don't even, like, sometimes I know where to shoot, and other times it's like, so where do I, when you're facing a Vindicator, where do you shoot? And it really annoys me, because sometimes I pen, sometimes I don't. But you can see I struggled to pen him. I struggled to circle that guy, but it was only for my teammates to come and pretty much save me. So 3,200, we do get nearly 70,000 credits, so not bad credit wise, and we do end up on a first class. So out of both tanks, I would definitely recommend the T-34-3. It is the more strongest tank, but it is a lot more difficult. I mean, like, at the moment I need triple as much of the currency than I do on the Type 64. So 726 I still need to that, and I only need 206 for this. Now, I did buy some 2 crates, the 2-for-1 crates, so I did get some coins in there. But I don't even need to play now. All I need to do really is open my 5 daily crates that well, I need to play 5 battles a day. I need to win 5 battles a day, and I'll get this tank no problem whatsoever. So I'd save your coins, and the last day, if you can't get the T-34, get the Type 64. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy69, and I'll catch you soon.